I applied for 1,000 jobs on Upwork, and I also sent 1,000 cold emails, and the difference in results is probably gonna surprise you. My name's Gavin, I run an email and SMS marketing agency, and I've said this a million times, and if you've been following my channel, you probably already know what I'm about, but I make these videos to document my own journey and share tips and tricks. And in today's video, I wanted to explain the difference between my two methods of outreach, which is number one, Upwork, and then number two, cold email. Now I send a lot of cold emails, but I wanted to compare this case study. 1,000 applications on Upwork and 1,000 cold emails. Now, the only way I was able to apply for 1,000 jobs on Upwork was using the tool Gig Radar. There's a link in the description. I want to be fully transparent. I'm an affiliate of these guys, but I want to explain the difference in results. And let me actually show you by sharing my screen. Boom, we've transported. Welcome to my screen share. Isn't that amazing, the power of editing? Okay, seriously, this is my Upwork profile. As you can see here, in the last 90 days, we've sent 1,075 proposals. I said 1,000, I rounded, forgive me. As you can see here, we had 275 viewed. So we applied for 1,075 jobs, 275 of those were viewed, 113 interviews. Now, yes, the hires is very low. I'll be fully transparent. We take a bit of work off of Upwork. I know, whatever, I'm not supposed to do that. You get the idea. 113 interviews, okay? Now, let me quickly bring up my screen here in terms of my cold emails. These are stats that I pulled from a screenshot. We sent 1,517 emails, okay? I know I said 1,000, whatever. You can see we've contacted 428 leads, okay? Leads completed, 1,021. We had a reply rate of 4.7% and a positive reply rate of 38.5% of the 3% here, meaning 5. We had 5 positive replies for 1,000 cold emails sent, compared to 1,000 Upwork proposals sent and 113 interviews. That's massive. And I'll tell you what, these positive replies, I would say maybe 1 to 2 of them resulted in a call, okay? And I think I closed 1 of them. Here, I closed a hell of a lot more, okay? When you're comparing the two of these tools, Upwork and Gig Radar, and let me quickly show you Gig Radar, and once again, there's a link in the description of this video. This tool right here just blew cold email out of the water. How this works, this tool takes your profile, reads the job description on Upwork, and then writes an AI proposal, okay? Taking the job description and your profile and fusing it together to write an AI proposal. And it makes it personalized and customized so that you get really high response rates. And this platform here, this tool, Gig Radar, check it out. Just click Get Demo. You should be able to get a call with them. Highly recommend it. It automates the process of bidding on the jobs. And within 15 minutes of a job going live on here, it applies for it. You don't have to have a person doing it. You don't have to spend time writing all these proposals. This tool saves me so much time, and it's able to personalize the outreach at scale. And I just want to reiterate that again, okay? Here we go. 1,517 emails sent, 1,021 leads completed, 5 positive replies in total. 5 positive replies. I only got 1 call from that. You can't see that here. I only got 1 call from that. Compared to this, 1,000 proposals sent, 113 interviews. The difference is massive, okay? Highly recommend checking this out. Once again, there's a link in the description, but we're gonna go back to me now, talking directly to the camera, power of editing, and hopefully future Gavin can explain more about why this works so much better in about 1 second. So here's the thing. The reason why Upwork significantly outperforms cold email, and when I say Upwork, I mean Gig Radar, is because the jobs and the conversations you're starting on those platforms, or rather specifically on Upwork, is with people who have clearly already told you they have a problem. With cold email, you're having to explain that they have a problem and then convince them to get on a call. With Upwork, they're already coming to you with a problem that they have said they have, and then you are then providing the solution. Meaning, while I did apply for 1,000 jobs on Upwork and I did send cold emails, 1,000 of them, those 1,000 people that I applied for, or rather bidded on jobs for, are people who are A, I know qualified, and B, are already willing to spend money to solve a problem. Upwork and applying for these jobs significantly outperforms that of what you can do for cold email. Now, you make up for the lack of really traffic that you're trying to drive with cold email, or rather with Upwork, with just more cold emails, right? Ideally, you're sending 100,000 cold emails for 1,000 Upwork jobs. The reality is though, to send 100,000 cold emails, that's a lot of work and it's a lot of money to set up those systems. As opposed to Upwork, using a system like GigRadar, significantly cheaper, and you're getting on calls with people who are significantly easier to close. I would much rather have a conversation with 50 people from Upwork as opposed to 200 people from cold email, because they already know that they have a problem they're trying to solve, and it's so much easier to close them on there. And believe it or not, okay, the people that you're talking to on Upwork are gonna be high-paying clients. We've actually got clients who are listed on the stock exchange from Upwork, clients that are doing tens of millions of dollars a year in sales through Upwork. Now, I run an email and SMS marketing agency, but this is true across the board for pretty much any space that you're trying to get into. People think that Upwork is for low-paying jobs that, are crappy and people are trying to outsource it. That's not true. It's not true. It's literally what's taken my agency from 20K a month to 80K a month. A little bit more than 80K a month. But it's off the back of applying for constant jobs off of Upwork using the tool GigRadar. GigRadar automates the process of applying for these jobs for me consistently, to the point where I haven't applied for a job in years. GigRadar automatically applies for these jobs and writes custom proposals for me, and then gets me on the calls in a way that cold email just can't really compete, because it's mass personalization through the use of applying for jobs using GigRadar, and it's mass personalization to people who say, yep, I have a problem and I'm willing to spend money to solve it. Whereas with cold email, you could do the mass personalization angle. It's gonna take a hell of a lot more work, but at the same time, you're reaching out to people who you have to convince they have a problem. Two very different people you're talking to. One is problem aware, one is not problem aware. And so if I was trying to decide where I'd allocate my attention if I'm just starting out, I'd really recommend going the Upwork and GigRadar route. Now, I'm not saying don't do cold email, but if you're limited on funds and you're trying to figure out where to best allocate your money, GigRadar, Upwork, hands down over cold email. I do both. I do both because my Upwork and GigRadar are already so dialed in and already get me so many leads that I can let that run and then switch to cold email. But it's a matter of doing two. And if you have to do two, or rather have to choose from one of the two, go the GigRadar Upwork route. And then when you dial that in fully and you generate the amount of leads that I'm generating, then pivot to cold email. So many people seem to start with cold email because it's what they know, but the reality is Upwork is an absolute gold mine. And when you're able to automate it with tools like GigRadar, there's a link in the description to this video, it just absolutely rips. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment down below, subscribe to my channel, validate my existence as a human being by subscribing. Please, my self-worth is at an all-time low. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. 2 videos every single week. Thanks for watching.